I'm Jen Schrader, and this is Behind the Springs, conversations with the people working for you in Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Welcome, everyone. When I say the word parking, what comes to mind? Maybe a parking garage downtown, or paying a meter, or even a parking ticket, maybe. Or perhaps like me, you're thinking about how bad you are at parallel parking, but maybe that's just me. Today, we are focusing on parking and specifically our parking enterprise. The city owns and manages 3 parking garages, several surface lots, and 2,800 street parking spaces in downtown Colorado Springs and Old Colorado City. So we also provide parking enforcement for all those spots. There's a lot going on with our parking team. So public parking is something valuable that we offer to the community. It's also important that we manage that parking system very well. So I'm happy to welcome the manager of our parking enterprise, Alyssa Alt, to the podcast. So Alyssa, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
Welcome in general to the city of Colorado Springs, because you're fairly new to our team.
That's right.
And new in this position. So tell us a little bit about what brought you here and how it's going so far.
Yeah, well, it's, I think, month 2 now. I started in April, and I'm really excited to be here. I started my parking career, like I think most people who are in the parking industry, you don't really strive to be a parking professional. You just kind of end up there somehow, and then you end up staying for a long time because it's actually really interesting and really impactful to the community. So I started my career in working for a car share company in the Denver region, expanding car sharing, which is basically a system where you become a member, you have access to vehicles, and then you use them for hour or a day at a time, and they're located throughout the city. And so obviously you kind of have to figure out where to park those cars. And so that's kind of where my entry into the parking world came. And then after that, I eventually started working for the city and county of Denver in their parking operations team, and worked my way up through that to become the manager of the curbside and parking team. You'll notice the change there where we're focusing on parking operations and not really focusing on curbside management, managing the meters, parking portfolio of off-street parking and lots and garages there. Really a lot of policies, residential parking permit, valet, working really closely with our traffic engineering teams and stuff like that. And then a couple years ago, my husband actually got a job down here in the Springs. We moved down here and really loved it. And then when this opportunity came available, I was really excited to continue the growth and the excitement of the parking enterprise here in Colorado Springs.
I mean, not surprising. Who doesn't want to live here?
Exactly.
We hear that a lot.
Yes.
Everybody wants to come to Colorado Springs. So far, so good, even though you're sort of new to the position. But talk about something exciting happening right off the bat, which is you've just introduced this parking management master plan, if I'm getting that correctly. And it's really kind of an all-encompassing look, right, at what you're doing, what your team is doing. And tell us, I know I talked a little bit about what you all do. Did I get that correct? Is that everything that your team works on? It's a lot.
It is a lot, yes. We have a really dedicated and awesome team at the Parking Enterprise. It really is sort of focused into 3 different areas. So there's maintenance. So that means maintaining preventive maintenance of our lots and garages, making sure that they're safe and accessible for everybody to utilize. That could be like restriping or milling and paving on our lots, or it could be adding in new equipment.
Or like lighting,
garages.
right?
Lighting, wayfinding, that sort of thing in our garages, making sure that they're clean, picking things up, dusting things off, all that sort of stuff. And then we also have our administration team who really focuses on our monthly parkers, assisting with the PD and our special events team on meter bagging and hooding for events.
And tell people what that is, meter bagging and hooding. So that's like when you see the hoods on all the meters.
Correct.
When we have like Western Street Breakfast downtown or something like that.
It basically reserves space for somebody. So that could be construction. Oftentimes there's a lot of construction. So if somebody is building a building, or maybe they're doing a repair in the street, they need to have that dedicated space for their work that they're doing. Or if they're going to be building a building, they maybe need to bring in a loader or a crane and stuff like that. So they want to make sure that space is available for them to use.
And so your administrative team coordinates.
Our administrative team coordinates with them to make sure that they have the permit or the application is correct, and then they put the meter hoods out onto the street as well. So we do that, work with our monthly parkers, meters in all of our lots and garages, making sure that people have the access that they need and they're making the payments as appropriate. Really a lot of customer service in that regard. Really just answering a lot of questions too from the general public when they call or they email or we get questions from other places. Working internally too with our different partners. And then we also have our parking enforcement officers, which are really our ambassadors and our compliance folks. So they are out on the streets trying to make sure that people are following the rules of the road, that things are safe. People aren't parking in bike lanes, or they're not parking in across crosswalks or staying too long, which means that people can't access the places they're trying to go. So really trying to get out there and make sure people have the information that they need as well. They answer a ton of questions about how to use the meters, how long they can park. People could park for, what they need to do to really, fully access our parking system.
Because you either have people who are, not downtown often, or maybe they're new to the area, or they're tourists and they have questions, or they want to park in a way they haven't before. They want a monthly pass, or they're wondering about, okay, I'm down here every Tuesday. What's my best bet? So a lot of what your officers do, I know, is enforcement, but it's also education.
Absolutely.
And we've followed, our video production crew has followed one of your team members, Gary, around, who is awesome. But these guys get some unhappy customers sometimes. So they talk about customer service skills. They really have to have a lot of patience and great skills, but they are really out there to educate.
Absolutely. And, one of the ways, too, that you can pay for parking is through your phone, through a mobile application. And that can cause people some questions. And that is something that they are absolutely happy to help people with and show them what to do, make sure that they're at the right place so that they can then, follow the system and follow the rules as much. Because people want to follow the rules for the most part. I would say, people are happy to do that, and they just want to make sure that they know what they're trying to do. So,
So what does this master plan look at, and why even have a master plan? What does it mean for residents?
So it's a parking and curb management plan. It's about a 10-month process that's just wrapped up. Final plans just got onto the website today, so that's really exciting. It's really a framework for how the next few years should go, and what sort of some possible projects and policy updates that we can do as the parking enterprise to really optimize our system and our operations.
So it's like a map for you. And your team.
Absolutely. And, and the thing that I like to, there's a few different, let me just make sure I get it, but there's 4 different tenets of this plan. Actively manage our curb, be proactive in our customer service and our customer experience.
And when you say curb, you mean
our curb parking lane, right? Generally, where people are generally parking. So making sure that we're being really active with that. That our off-street parking facilities are well utilized and working as they should, and could be even more proactive, or not proactive, more highly utilized. And then really making sure the customer experience is there, and using technology and making sure that we're using the best technology and being technology forward, because there's a lot of great information and software, and mostly software stuff that we can use to help us manage this better.
At this point, is your best bet to get the app in terms of parking, or what do you recommend?
I would definitely say that the app is a great idea. It's a great place to start. It really just allows you a lot more flexibility. So if you don't really know how long you want to be somewhere, you do the least amount of time on your app, and then it'll give you a little alert, and then you can add more time if you need to. But some of the plan, I think that these tenets of the plan are really helpful, but then they have projects and policies underneath them that we're really trying, to work towards completing. And a couple of the things we were already starting. So one of them was we heard loud and clear, speaking of meters, that our meters don't really work that well. They sometimes are...
Some are old.
Some are, they're old, and sometimes it's confusing how to do them, or how to use them, how to use your credit card with them in them, and they don't work. And we also heard from our team that they are really hard to maintain. They're at the end of their useful life. And so really what we're trying to do now is starting this year-long process to update all of our meters to new technology. The meters will still be remaining primarily single-space meters. They'll have solar on them. They'll have tap to pay, so you don't even have to insert your credit card at all. Just making it a lot easier for the customers to be able to use.
Oh, that's really nice that's coming. So tell me, and this might be just a general question that some people know the answer to, but can you kind of talk about what it means to be an enterprise and what parking enterprise means?
Yep. The parking enterprise means that we are fully funded through the parking revenues that we make. So the money that the people are paying for parking, we are using to operate our system fully. We don't get any money from other places in the city.
But that's nice to know as a person parking that this will also go to maintaining the garage that I park at next time or whatever.
Absolutely. Maintaining the garage. And the other thing too is we are using some of the revenue funds to help with streetscapes and making the places that you want to go even nicer. So when you get out of your car, you're maybe stepping onto a manicured sidewalk versus some places that don't have that. Looking at planting trees, updating different benches, trash cans, things like that people are utilizing every single day.
Right. That makes a big difference about your overall experience downtown.
Right.
And I mean, that in turn sort of leads to being a city where people want to be.
Absolutely.
People like you want to move to.
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
Well, I hope it keeps going well for you.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard. And thanks for all you and your team are doing every day. I want to encourage people, if they want to dive a little deeper or keep track of what that plan entails, coloradosprings.gov/parking is a great place to find out more about all things parking. Not only can you see the plan, but you can check out rates, where to find parking, how to pay a ticket, all those type of things that if you don't, want to call or you don't happen to run into Gary or one of your great folks, that you can just go on there and find out some of the answers to the most common questions. So that's really helpful. Well, thanks for everything.
Thank you.
And have a great summer. And if you're out and about and you see one of those parking enforcement officers, I've only met Gary and a couple others, but they're awesome. So say hello. And thank you so much for listening to Behind the Springs.